Where were you when you discovered that the world is not the way it's supposed to be? When you got that first wake-up call to a painful world that's not quite what you called normal? This week we discuss how we tend to respond to a broken world, a world that is not the way it should be, this week on The Edges. Most of us grew up with a sense of some sort of karma-esque normal. We all get what we deserve. Work hard and things get better. Do bad things and things go wrong. Be a good person and things work out. Old people will pass away eventually. Crimes are committed by bad people. Good people avoid the police. There may be attention, yes. Many of us also had some trauma mixed into that reality. But for the most part, we incorporated that trauma right into that karma-type worldview. Through counseling this past year, I've realized that many of my present coping mechanisms stem from trying to make sense of things going awry in my life, and that I somehow deserved those things happening in some karma kind of way, that I wasn't worthy of anything else. Yet, even so, our childhood is normal for us, until one day when we find out that life is not the way it's supposed to be. When was that moment for you? For me, it was late in my teen years when a good friend, my age, passed away. To this day, that moment that I found out strikes me. My father entered my bedroom to wake me with the news. Horrible, painful, and life-altering awakening news. After the funeral was over and time passed, I realized this moment woke me up. He was not supposed to die. That's not supposed to happen. The world is not the way it's supposed to be. And wake-up calls kept happening for me. Relationships gone bad. The death of another young friend. Mental illness altering life. Fatal diseases. All very proximate to my own life. And my eyes began to open to the world around me. Lots of things were happening to people that did not deserve it. Some of the wrong people got what I considered good things happen to them. Nasty people got rich and or famous. And some amazing folks were afflicted with disease, poverty, or death. This was not what I thought should be happening. Where was that fair, normal world of my childhood? I have found we tend to do one of two things when we experience wake-up calls like this. We either ignore it or we respond. I'd love to admit that this has never happened to me, but I am prone to ignore these wake-up calls. I get stuck in my ways of seeing the world and responding to it, that I continue to live the way that I was before. Sometimes when I get a wake-up call, I ponder it, mull it over, and allow my emotional responses to proceed. I return to the life I had before. I name the wake-up call a fluke, a coincidence, or something weird that I should forget. I might blame someone else for it, call it propaganda, find a way to disbelieve it. I may trust what I knew before more than the impact of the wake-up call. It could not have been real, and frankly, I might just be afraid to change. I know I should change, but I just cannot. It's too hard. And I know I'm not alone in this response. We as a society are fearful of what we do not know or can explain. That fear creeps into our being and we resist change, anything new, or anything extraordinary. We prefer numb. Wake-up calls temporarily shake us out of numb. The problem with ignoring these wake-up calls should be obvious. The more we do it, the easier it gets. We believe it's something or someone else's problem, that it was deserved, and that we dehumanize others and live a life of numb and distraction. So that leads to the other response we have, which is to respond. If we respond and not ignore, we often move quickly to finding answers and taking immediate action. Yes, we want answers. What happened? How can we prevent it? How can we make sure this never happens again? And then we get to those things quickly. Somebody has pain? Let's deal with it now. That's our way. Injustice? Let's go! And we rush off to get involved and solve the problem. We like to be the hero, get involved, bring solutions, maybe take a photo for social media as we act. Only, we often do all this without really knowing the depth of the pain or the injustice. We acted, yes, but we missed two intertwining things: listening and lamenting. What I've learned from failing so often in trying to help those on the edges of society is answers and immediate action can not only fail to accomplish what we hoped, our answers and help might actually uphold the system that is crushing those involved. So in rushing to an answer, we lived out actions that hurt the people we wanted to help, and we missed an opportunity for deep listening. That's all I'm offering you this week. Take the time to listen. Hear from those involved, those being crushed. Quit rushing to assumptions and easy answers. Don't seek a YouTube or Facebook post by someone who supports your preconceived notions. Actually listen. This is so hard for us, for me. We have to put down our pride, our need to be a hero, and we have to live in answerless messes and hear things that will challenge us, our systems we uphold, our whole lives. And sit in that pain, lament, hurt, feel the depth of the pain, join others in soaking in the fullness of the injustice. I believe that is where we meet God. Not in the rush to overcome, but in the mess of answerless questions. And slowly, in community with the most broken, we can act again. Not this time as a hero leading the way, but as an ally, allowing the broken to lead us, and for us to keep listening. There is much more to say about this, but until next time, like, subscribe, and share, and thanks for listening.